So I'm here with my good friend Mihai, who is a spiritualist and he's a shaman. He has done plant medicine and he has a community of shamans in Norway. And he's been an old friend of mine for like 10 years. Yes. And I'm really happy to have him here today to have this conversation on spiritual matters.
I'm so happy to meet you again, Christina. You came back from England.
Yes.
So for Easter, so now we have the chance to speak of it.
Exactly. And it's so nice to have this conversation with you on spiritual matters that we can also record, because we have a lot of interesting conversations, and I thought I would start doing some kind of video podcasts with people on interesting topics to discuss.
Yeah, it's a good idea.
Yeah. Because I have things to ask you about your experience with plant medicine. And with ayahuasca and Kambo, you did both of them, right?
Yeah, I did both. First time I took ayahuasca in Oslo with a shaman from Amazon, with 5 people, 3-4 musicians and a shaman. And, I took only once, like I did it only for one day. I had to leave the next day, but it was. I was scared at the beginning because I didn't know what to expect. The people said, "Let go of the feeling, let the plant do its effect on your body, on your mind."
And this was ayahuasca, right?
So this was ayahuasca, and at some point the shaman called for us to give us, for every one of us, a shot, like a small glass of this special drink, and then he was looking straight in our eyes, and he would pour the amount that he could, the drink that he considered it would be suitable for you, just by looking at you.
So the right amount of
liquid, of plant. It's like a liquid. They pour this liquid in a small glass of...
And I suppose there was a ceremony, like with some chanting or...
and this, and then the chanting started, and he was singing this kind of repetitive mantras in unknown language, like
that's interesting.
Being between melodic and speaking. And then he asked, who wants the second time? He asked for the second shot for everybody, and I went there because I didn't feel anything after 40 minutes, but after the second shot, 10 minutes after the second, it was kicking in. So I was suddenly started to feel to think about serious things about my life, my family, and
can I ask you, were you sick, like after
nobody was sick that evening.
Right,
nobody had to throw up in the in those buckets that were aside, and but everybody, from what I understood, everybody has his own journey.
Exactly.
So it's some people seem relaxed, but they have an inner struggle to cope with whatever they are feeling there.
Yes.
But I received 2 things in this journey of mine. What I saw there, that was my experience. I saw like all the pictures of all my friends and relatives, the closest ones, like 20, 30 people. It's like a gallery of pictures that were one after another. And then like a voice inside me told me that I need to tell all these people that I love, so I care for them, because they are the first connection between me and the universe and the world. So only through them and together with them, and this letting them that I love them and caring them and sharing my love.
And did you do that?
Not. So I did it, but I didn't. I have some problems with telling I love you, or sharing this. I love you. I care about you.
I mean, it's something we have worked on together.
We worked on this sharing the.
It's interesting that the plant medicine ayahuasca also brought to the surface this kind of issues, the same things that you told me you wanted to work on.
Exactly.
Because we've done some past life regressions, and yes, we've worked on the same things, and then the plant medicine just automatically brought to the surface.
And then we danced. The energy went like this, up and down, depending what the shaman wanted to send us. Otherwise, the people were laying down on the mattresses, or they would start changing the tempo of the music, and we would do like a circle and hold each other's hands.
And I'm curious about the other people, like, do you know about their spiritual experience after taking ayahuasca? Like, how did they perceive it or react to it?
A girl struggled with letting go, so she didn't have the courage to let go and to let the plant be in her body, and she wanted to stay in control. And it was a struggle. It's a normal struggle for her. She told the second day. Yeah. Another guy had some interior fights with some very hard issues. He was crying inside him. At the surface, nobody seemed to feel anything. Poker face. Everybody was kind of quiet. Nobody was screaming, yelling, or weeping or something.
So everyone was processing internally.
Exactly. Yeah. And but at some point when we were having circles with each other, some guy fell on the ground, almost fainted, and the shaman slapped him a bit. But that was the only thing that happened. This was the guy that was struggling with hard issues throughout this process.
Right, so but then he was okay, right?
But then it was okay, yeah. So I asked them if anything strange happens through these ceremonies, and they said nothing, nothing dangerous happens.
I heard of some people that did Kambo, for example, and they died, because apparently that's poison, like Kambo. And you did Kambo as well. So I heard that there were some cases of people who did, like, their bodies did not take Kambo well. I think that's a little bit of a risk, isn't it, with Kambo?
Yeah, they give it to you in small doses. They do 3 or 4 dots on the. They burn your skin and then they put the liquid. And I saw a guy that fainted after the first 3 dots, but again the guy woke him up, and that was it. But everybody were I don't know what effect had on them, but on me, for sure, it had a very powerful effect.
All right.
So
can you explain why?
After all the process is finished with this poison, this vaccine, as they said, they say about it, I could think very clearly. Like I could have a sharp mind. I could feel like in a neutral point of. I was kind of neutral. Yeah, I was in the middle of. I could see everything around me and my life and things that I had to do, like very simple. I knew what I had to do. What are next steps for me? I was working on my last album, like music album, Carpatica. I was in the middle of finishing them, and then I just started to finish. In 2 months, I finished the album.
Right.
But the intense.
So you're very, very focused. Like it cleared your mind.
Yeah, it cleared my mind, and with no emotion, no fear.
Like before, you had some fears.
Yeah, you have doubts. You have maybe this instrument, this sound is good, it's not good. The way the
so
the
it
song,
just flowed, right?
It flowed. You were there and you were doing your thing and working, and that was you knew.
That's
or if you didn't know, you just did it.
Yeah.
And you find a way.
So would you do it again? Like, would you do Kambo again or ayahuasca?
Yeah, I would do it. Yeah. There's another effects of the ayahuasca. The Kambo, the frog. The skin was so smooth, perfect smoothness of the skin.
Right. Okay.
And the face was again smoother than ever. I didn't feel anything, any pimples, nothing on my face when I felt that when I was washing my
like
face.
A beauty product.
Exact beauty product. My the dark areas under my eyes.
Yeah, gone.
Gone for 2 weeks.
Wow.
Like, oh my God.
Okay.
And a friend told me, oh, you seem that as if you are younger with 5 years younger.
Wow. Okay.
So she didn't know.
She didn't know.
It was 3 days. 3 days after this happened.
Yeah. Wow.
So it had this miraculous kind of effect.
Right.
So Kambo. Stay tuned for the next frog coming to
right. So you're gonna
country.
do it for sure, like Kambo, like another time.
Yeah, I would do. I would do it again and use it. Yeah. So this was my experiences with these plants.
Plant medicine,
As the shaman says, there are some plants for the body and some other plants for the spirit. They say ayahuasca is the plant for the spirit.
Yeah.
And yes, Christina.
So is there something that you would want to ask me maybe? I mean, I asked you about your experience now because I know I wanted to ask you about this, about ayahuasca and Kambo.
Why do you feel you have the power to heal other people with your techniques, like guided meditation or regression, and what types of techniques you use to change people and make them recover from?
Yeah. So, well, as you know, I do past life regression and I do childhood regression, and I think like my passion is to heal people from deep emotional trauma, because like most of our lives is driven by our subconscious mind, and really the conscious mind is only like the tip of the iceberg. It's only like a small part of what we can see of what our mind and consciousness actually is. Most of it is subconscious, unconscious. So that's what I do. I like working on the subconscious and the unconscious through these types of regressions of hypnosis. There are different types of hypnosis that you can work on with the subconscious. Some of them are, I mean, I did some on you, if you know, they're milder, so you don't need to like go into a deep trance.
You are conscious of.
And you just like stay there on the couch, and then I talk to you like, oh, imagine this and imagine that, and you know. But other times you go really deep, and I think these are the ones that I love the most. When you go deep, for example, with past lives, with womb trauma, for example, with moment of birth, you know, like very
just by talking, the person sits lays back on the couch, and they just talk with you, and you guide them, and they are aware of what they are hearing and listening.
Exactly, kind of. Because it's not, when people think of hypnosis, they think of like losing consciousness, or like I make you do the chicken dance or something. Like you're unconscious, and I do. But actually, you know, it's like clinical hypnosis, so that's like therapeutic. So you don't lose consciousness, you're always in control and aware. So like, for example, you know that I ask you, like, do you want to continue? Like, is this safe for you? Or like yes or no, answer with yes or no. So you're always like in control of it. I'm just guiding you.
Exactly. So it's curious that memories that I had pop out at the surface, and from out of nowhere apparently, but if you put the right question and the right mood, I stumble upon some memories that I remember, I know them, but I forgot about them, that they had such an impact regarding that specific, because you can make multiple regressions and guided meditation on specific purposes or journeys.
Exactly. And at the end of the day, it's like a mosaic. It's like an overall image that is composed of multiple elements. So all the elements add up to the overall problem that you want to solve. So it's like peeling the layers of an onion, like I said, you know, if you remember, we talked a little bit about it as well, like you're peeling the layers of an onion when you heal. So there's one layer, and under it, then, there's something else, another layer, and then another layer. Yeah, because like, you know, we've done some sessions, and, you know, you go from one thing to another, you know, and it's all part of the big image.
So I wanted to ask you, do you have a boyfriend? Do you use any other objects in your rituals, like stones or other artifacts? Are they useful in your...
my other types of work that are more like spiritual, and stuff.
Like tarot.
Like shamanism, for example, because I do the Munaiki initiations. I used to do them in person every year, a few times a year. And yes, I used to use sage and crystals and instruments, musical instruments, and like candles, because yes, you need them. In shamanism, as you know, with shamanic ceremonies, you need like music, right? Because you as well, you chanted with the shamans, right? You chanted, you danced. It's very like very vivid, you know. It's like very earthy, so to speak. So you need the sounds. Because I could talk about rattles a long way, because rattles, for example, they create a sound that apparently expels negative energies. And you know, like with babies, when they give babies, you know, the rattles, that has a significance, because apparently it was given to children to like cast away, you know, evil spirits from the children, to protect them. So it's like all these myths and legends and like customs, you know, of Native Americans and of other even other civilizations, even with us, like here in like Romania, because we're now here in Romania to do this, to have this talk. And like there are in our culture there are like this kind of things where you give children something to protect them from the evil eye or like from evil energies.
Yes.
Like the color red, for example.
Yeah, that is supposed to protect you from other people's attention or envy or other...
Or evil eye,
Evil eye,
yeah. So we have this thing with color red. So in shamanism as well, it's like you have all these kind of things that you need for the ceremony. And like we have a fire ceremony as well, so we need candles. And you take the energy of the fire and you bring it upon you. It's like all
and
like...
It's working.
It is, because like, for example, the thing with the fire, if you keep a candle in front of your third eye, you'll feel very soon like you'll feel tinglings, like physical sensation. And apparently it is enhancing your psychic abilities, your third eye. But it is doing something even on a physical level. If you want to try, you can do that. Like you can take a candle and put it in front of your third eye and you're going to feel tinglings instantly. So there's something deactivating, working there,
Yeah. Interesting. So it's your opinion that everybody needs at some point in life this kind of guided meditation or inner processing and inner exploration in order to become a better version of himself or to live his true potential in this life?
Yes.
Or everybody needs, or some other people they know what they are doing, or they don't need to go in past lives. Maybe they are businessmen, or they are gamblers, they are drivers, or maybe...
I know what you mean. Yeah. So I think it depends on every person's level of consciousness, of where they are with their consciousness, of where they are with their karma, with their evolution in life. Because from one life to the next, we change, we evolve. And we bring some baggage with us as well. And some people have more baggage than others, that I have seen. So some people need more work with past lives than others, because others don't have that much baggage from past lives. And others have a lot of baggage, like a lot of karma. Yes. So it really depends from one person to the next. For some people it is vital, I would say, to do past life regression.
In order to not to collapse and
because there's
to fail their life.
Yeah, because some people just have so much kind of bad luck happening to them, or like things that repeat themselves all the time.
Out of nowhere.
Yeah, and things that just repeat themselves all the time, like in relationships as well, or like in life generally, or like something that is just not working, And there is something there from past lives.
Yeah, all right.
Some people don't. Some people just want like a past life regression out of curiosity. And or they're like uncertain, and they don't see something that dramatic, that important. They just see something like, okay, so I was here, I did that, okay, that makes sense, but it's not something dramatic,
So, but still, it's like meditation. From what I heard, everybody should do some meditation, like clearing their minds and their own time with themselves, maybe. And this is also a reason, like a motive to get into that state, to just re-explore yourself.
I think self-exploration is very important for every person, like introspection, knowing yourself, know thyself, like self-exploration. Because like you get to know yourself and what you want, and be free of all your traumas and limiting beliefs, and work to know your triggers as well. Some people have triggers out of nowhere, like they react on automatic because again of their subconscious and unconscious patterns and traumas. They're not aware. They know something is wrong. They can't stop themselves. But once you understand and you see what's going on, that's the first step, and then you can heal it. Yeah. Sorry, what was your question was? I think there was.
If everybody
needs that, right?
Or maybe some people they cannot be worked with. So some people they don't want. They need to. They need to want it to feel the drive.
They definitely need to want it.
To come to you and to feel the need to solve something inside.
Yes.
That otherwise by talking with some psychologist or some other therapist. Maybe it didn't work on that level. Maybe they need this type of exploration.
Because like my approach is holistic, so I don't just look at like counseling or hypnosis. Like if the client is open to it, I combine it with like
So you combine
journaling, a bit of energy, like understanding of processing of energy, you know, of energy healing, of all this kind of stuff that go a little bit into parapsychology or the paranormal. You know, because I had someone recently that was really interesting asking me to see her natural mother, because she was adopted, and I've never done this before, I have to say, and it kind of went to the direction of parapsychology. I was like, well, it's kind of like I'm a medium, you know, in some way, like I'm playing the role of a medium in some way. I was like, we can try it, I'm not going to guarantee it's going to work, and it did work. We did 2 sessions so far, and she's seen so many details about her actual mother, like her natural birth mother.
She was maybe too young to remember her mother.
She was a baby.
She was a baby, and she was maybe abandoned at a young age.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. And I was like, I'm not sure if you're going to see that. You know, we could try, but you know, I mean, I know there was a possibility of her seeing these details because I know how the unconscious works and energy works. It's like, you know, when mediums, like for example, collaborate with the police. I find that so fascinating when they're giving the police details. The body is there, or this person is like, you know, he did this and that, you know.
This is already science fiction for us, the regular people that we don't.
Yeah, and it's again in the domain of like paranormal, parapsychology. Yeah, and I find this fascinating. So I don't just like really, you know, sticking just with the normal, like. Exactly. I could do that, you know, and I can do that, but that's why I'm a spiritual person, you know, my approach is holistic. And I had many spiritual experiences, as you know, so I cannot not believe in these things, you know, I can't not believe in these things because I've seen too much and I've experienced too much to go back to a normal approach, you know.
And also maybe the normal people that live in nature or that are breathing and have their own lives, maybe should see the signs outside themselves, like looking at the tree. In the past weeks, months, I was filming some nature with drones and or some macro filming and slow motion filming the flowers and insects. And when you see this variety, this intelligence, this beauty, this interconnection between insects, plants, sun, water, us, animals and everything, when you think that we need to eat some minerals, some metals that are born in the stars when they explode, and we still need them not to die. So we are so connected with the matter that was born in the star supernovas and explosions.
Exactly. So we're all part of stardust.
Yeah.
Right?
So there are many other reasons to see that is a miracle, to understand that. So you don't need to encounter some parapsychology and medium. But still, if you didn't, if you are not aware that the magic happens right now in the world, you need to meet Christina to find the magic part 2, magic reloaded.
Magic reloaded. But it's true. Like magic is everywhere. You know, you don't need someone to tell you like the world is magical, really. I mean, some people need someone to tell them. Like,
to remind them.
Yeah, like I was always spiritual as a kid, you know, if I think about it. Like when I was a kid, I loved crystals a lot. And I didn't know why I loved crystals, because nobody in my family was spiritual. They didn't do shamanism. They didn't have crystals or stuff. When I would find like a small piece of crystal, I would just adore it. I would just I would put it in water and like do some kind of incantations, almost like intuitive rituals. I was always like, I had this longing for spiritual, for mysticism, for more.
Yeah, so the crystals talked to you and they dragged you.
It's like I was connecting to them, you know, like I was seeing the rainbows inside the crystals, like the colors in the light, you know, how it reflected the light. And I loved it, you know, and and now people are doing like ceremonies and healing with crystals and stuff. And
so you had it, you knew it from your childhood.
Exactly. Nobody, you know, told me that. But still, for me, it was a journey because I didn't discover everything at once. Obviously, as you know, it's like a journey.
It implies many sometimes sacrifices or maybe energetic attacks, or some other entities, as you told me, some other spirits that are not well intentioned.
Yes, exactly.
Regarding your life and journey, but maybe this everything happens to you is for the reason that to become more powerful and to be more in charge to heal other people and to be more experimented and not let other people that we will come to ask for your help
because you're saying that I know how to help them, basically. Exactly.
Even if some other strange matters, like the niche.
A niche kind of, like for example, energetic attacks, entities that people don't really talk about them that often, but they are so real, and they're everywhere really. And because people like to focus usually with spirituality on like the rainbows and butterflies and the good, like the high of it, right? The good, like only the rainbows and butterflies, so to speak. And there's the whole package, like there's everything else apart from the rainbows and butterflies. And some things even surprised me, like even with all my native like spiritual side, some things on my journey really surprised me as I went along. Like I didn't know they existed. I didn't know it was possible. So I learned a lot.
So what advice do you give to people that so they can clean themselves of this, or then they can protect themselves? What they should do outside home, at their own place to be protecting a bit from these energetic attacks or from other...
for the unpleasant part of spirituality, right? Well, I think most of it is karma. So a lot of the people who experience these things have a kind of karma. They have experienced them already in past lives, and this is what happened to me. When I've done past life regression with someone else and on my own, on myself, I've seen like this happen to me in past lives. It was like a karma, it was like a baggage. And it's not always your fault, because people have the preconception that karma is your fault. But it's not. I didn't do anything wrong in those past lives. I've seen myself, and what happened wasn't like of something wrong that I've done, It's just like shit happens, And when shit happens, it has consequences. And guess what? Those consequences, you carry them with you from one life to the other.
The ripples of the past.
Yes, exactly.
And what these people need to do at home to clean themselves? It's like praying or what they need to do.
So depending on the type of karma and how bad it is, or how deep it is, some people can clean themselves at home, but some people can't. Some people, they need like deeper help, I would always suggest a spiritual practice where you like clean yourself on a regular basis. So like you put white light upon you, like visualization, or like any type of like energetic protection, to practice it daily, to raise your vibration. But a lot of the times that's not enough. There's so many things that people go through that they need like professional help or help from someone else. Another step would be to do like some kind of ritualistic practice. Like for example, karma clearing of some kind. Like go to a karma clearing session, like a workshop, a meditation, go into a gong bath, right? We were talking about gong baths, right? A cacao ceremony. That's like a really mild start. But if you want to go deeper, there's...
Call Christina.
Not necessarily me, but there's so many deeper things that you could do.
You can do,
and sometimes it's crazy, like the things that you encounter in the astral world. So for example, there's many beings, spirits, entities, many people that you've met in past lives that might have harmed you. You can meet them in this life, and that complicates things. What do you do then when you meet someone from a past life that you have a negative karma with, right? So there's just so many things that you need to tackle in life, and it's all a journey at the end of the day. But it's not an easy answer, so I can't give you an easy answer.
So we end this journey now for this evening.
Exactly. So I would love to talk to you again about it.
Yeah, come back.
Yes.
Maybe I come
to London.
To London. And,
yes.
Shoot the second.
And thank you so much for having you here, and it was really a pleasure talking to you.
For me too. So,
and sharing your experience with ayahuasca and Campbell. And we're going to do more like video talks in the future. Thank you, Mihai.
Thank you.